We have been reporting to you for months about the dire situation in hospitals right across the country, the huge strain on staff and resources brought on by the pandemic, really exacerbating problems that existed before. But especially now with Omicron, the stress, the overtime, the punishing hours, the emotional toll. It's no surprise that many healthcare workers, nurses especially, are feeling burned out. They need a big break. Often, it's a permanent break. If you look for numbers, there's all sorts of interesting things you can find. StatsCan said back in 2021, it was the healthcare sector that had more turnover than any other, and at one point put forward the number of nearly 100,000 positions going unfulfilled, and that was in 2021. The situation only worsening. So we're going to spend a couple of moments with someone who speaks to that reality and the challenges which in fact led her to go on a very different career path. Leah Gorham is with me this morning. Leah, hello, welcome to our program.
Thanks for having me.
Now, you show me around if you can and tell me what you're in and where you are.
Well, I'm in New York at a rest stop. I'm in a 18-wheeler Kenworth transport truck.
18-wheeler transport truck, because you're in the trucking industry now. What are you hauling and where are you going?
Hauling tires, and we're headed to Montreal.
Okay, that's today. 3 months ago, Leah, where would I have found you?
Well, you would have found me at the St. John Regional Hospital. Worked on general surgery for the past 12 years.
Did you like it?
I loved it.
You did? Why aren't you doing it anymore then?
Well, look, I did have a few incidents over the years. I really wanted to advance my career. I tried hard to get into the Bachelor Nursing program. Didn't have any success there. Then, I was assaulted in August by a patient. And basically, right then I said, okay, I have to change something. I'm really unhappy here. And I was presented with this opportunity to become a long haul trucker. And here I am.
And here we are talking about it. But interesting, that patient assault in August. Can you talk about, it sounds like there were some issues with nursing and you were questioning earlier on, but how did the pandemic and the realities that you were dealing with as a nurse during the pandemic, how did that figure into the decision making too?
Well, yeah. Look, we were always short-staffed in the hospital, especially on general surgery. It's a very high-skilled unit, and but leading up to the pandemic, there just was increasing demand on the nurses. Family members were restricted from coming in, so we really tried to make an effort to be with the patients more, and it was just a high demand work, and I really felt like I really wanted to advance my career, and I just couldn't. So the assault was sort of the straw that broke the camel's back, and I decided, look, I'm going to change. I'm going to be a long haul trucker, and here I am, and I'm loving it. I don't regret my decision at all.
Okay, that's a couple of things I was going to ask. If you regretted it, I mean, it's one thing to choose to leave. That's a big swing, though, to take up the big rig. I mean, how did you decide on trucking?
Well, my boyfriend's a long haul trucker, and I always had an interest in driving his truck. And basically, I just said, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And I took the 12-week course, and I did great, actually. And I feel very confident and comfortable. And
what do you like about it?
Well, I love to see the world. I love to. I'm loving going in the United States. I like to. I'm liking being with my boyfriend, too, to be honest with you. And
you just gestured because he's there in the cab with you, I know. But, it's interesting. You're still an essential worker. And, boy, talk about career prospects. They're always looking for people in the trucking industry. There are lots of opportunities right now. What about, I was thinking about this because, I've been reading articles. You're not the only nurse to make the switch to trucking, of all things. And a lot of the people that I was reading about, they talk about how their skills as a nurse actually play into this job. Do you think there are any parallels that you're seeing or experiencing?
Definitely, observation for sure. Trying to anticipate people's moves on the road. being organized, having a good sense of time and position, attention to detail, that all lends to it.
Huh. You might not think the obvious parallels, but indeed you're seeing that too. The fact, though, Leah, that you took such a drastic turn and left something that you'd done for many years and loved, as you told us, to do this, what does that say about the state of healthcare in the country right now and the kinds of realities in hospitals?
Well, it's really sad. I mean, I wanted to be a nurse for the rest of my life. I never pictured myself doing anything different, but circumstances are they are. There's only so much one can take, and I really hope that the working conditions get better for everybody across Canada, nursing in the medical field. We gotta really appreciate our nurses and the amount of effort and care that they give every day.
We're hearing about nurses leaving the profession in droves. Would you, if you'll pardon my pun, steer any former colleagues into your new line of work?
Well, I don't know if trucking is for everyone,
Right.
especially people that I work with. But I will say, I find that you have to be very brave to do this job. And the girls at work, they are very brave. And I just feel like, don't be unhappy, find joy. And that's what I've done. And I encourage anyone to really be happy in their life.
Leah, thank you. Really appreciate your own first-person account of what was, what is, safe drive, and all the best on the road and in your new path. Leah Gorham from Cortland, New York,
Thanks.
with us this morning.